Welcome to Into the Mind of Music. I have on my show this time Kevin Hasselbrink, wonderful performer, vocalist. His band Kevin and Company can be seen playing throughout all of New Jersey. And his other band is called Highway Robbery. I've done quite a few gigs with Kevin, and it's always a pleasure to work with him. Please welcome Kevin the Butcher Hasselbrink.
Out that that's all I could do was play acoustic. Didn't have the stamina.
And when did you get sick? Was that right before we actually were introduced to each other when I was playing with Carl?
When I used to play at the station with Carl. That was my reinventing coming back playing acoustic. Because It was like 2010 that I wound up in a hospital.
Yeah, because that was... Well, see, I knew you as the singer from The Butchers.
Right, Eddie Bell,
You
Ron
used to
Lako.
play with my good friend and great bass player, Eddie Bell. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know where he is or what he's doing.
He's still in Edison. He's still in Edison.
I know he was sick
in
for a
rare
while.
shape from what I understand. He can't stand and play. He's got to sit down to play, and he just wants to play original fusion now. That's all he wants to do.
Well, I can imagine he must be a monster at it by now.
He's always been a monster.
Yeah.
But he could play the shit out of anything and make it sound great, but he didn't like it. He wasn't happy playing cover material. All he did was complain about it. And he played it better than anybody.
Yeah, well, that was a good band, The Butchers, and I knew you was Alan Lynn the drummer?
Alan was the original drummer, yeah.
Was he in the band when you were in the band?
Yeah. Me and Ron and Eddie actually started it. We actually started it with a different drummer, Carlo LaRocca, who was playing with Far Cry at times.
Okay.
He was the first drummer, and he's the one that started. He used to call Eddie a butcher all the time because he would screw up all the tunes because he didn't practice. That's where people used to think we were the Butchers because Carlo was always hollering "Butcher, Butcher" while we're playing. And then I said, "Why don't we just call ourselves the Butchers? You're saying it all the time." I swear to God, that's where it came from.
That's where it came from.
We changed it, and then I made the subtitle for it. You can't beat our meat, which stuck. People like that. And we had something to go. We played together for like 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, Alan is an incredible...
Alan came in afterwards. Because Eddie knew Alan. When Carlo went to play with Far Cry again, because Far Cry called them back. And then, because when we first started, Carl was actually the drummer, was playing with Eddie and me and Carlo. And we were called the Goatees, because we all had the goatees. Okay. So Carl got called to go play with Ace Frehley, to play bass for Ace Frehley, and we needed a guitar player. So then Eddie knew Ron Lako also because they were playing in an original band together.
Oh.
And Lako could play anything. Although he played that little Steinberger. Everybody say, "Why don't you get a real guitar?" I say he's playing electric broom.
Yeah, that was there was a lot of talent in that band. I want to try to get Alan Lynn to come on this show.
He's been doing some podcasts down in Virginia.
Is he really?
Yeah. Are you on Facebook with him?
Yeah.
Because he posts something every now and then. He's been playing with a bunch of different bands.
Yeah, he has a whole studio where he does
in his
videos and everything and crazy stuff.
But it seems like every time I see it, he's with another band. I don't think anything is lasting, anything that sticks together. And now with the pandemic and everything, it's even tougher,
Yeah.
But he knows a lot of good people to play with, too. Alan was always a great drummer. He was in the band for several years before Matt. Then we changed to Matt Sonator. He was the third drummer of the Butchers.
Alan moved. I know Alan moved around quite a bit. He was like an IT guy from...
Yeah, he worked for AT&T. He was making the big bucks back then in the 90s. had a big house in Edison, had a couple motorcycles, and Eddie Bell knew him. That's how he joined the band. He said he knew, when Carlo went back to Far Cry, we knew we needed a drummer, and Eddie said he knows this dude Alan, who Carl actually knew because I think he played with Far Cry at one point in time, and Carl had a falling out with him. And I kind of remember Carl saying something about don't use him because he's, it's not necessarily him. It's his wife was a pain in the, she wanted to be part of the band all the time.
Oh, yeah. That's always crazy.
That's always a problem, yeah.
Well, you know what they say, anything with tits or wheels is eventually going to give you shit.
Yep. One way or the other.
One way.
And you got to keep the rubber side down any way you do it.
I'm sorry, ladies. What can I tell you? I'm unlucky in love anyway. What the fuck? I don't care.
You're not. You just push it too much. Just let it happen. Once your podcast gets going, you'll be a big star. Then the ladies will be just start interviewing the ladies then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it'll turn from music to John's love life on the podcast.
Yeah, believe me,
You talk about your latest conquest.
Yeah, I'm definitely just doing this for fun because.
Yeah, but that can be fun too.
Yeah, hey. You never know where anything is going to lead.
You saw that when you posted on when you were advertising the podcast, you were saying something about it's all about the music, and I said, "What about the women?" And then Alan left and said, "Kevin, I like the way you're thinking."
Yeah.
And then that started a whole other conversation in itself.
Yeah, I don't have too many women's stories. Yeah, but
I'm sure you could get Shari and Gina and all them to come on and do a thing with you. Frankie's been doing it. Did you see Frankie's?
I saw that he was doing that with them, and I commented. I said, why don't you do a weekly sitcom and get together and call it Four's Company?
Four's Company, yeah. So you had that, yeah.
And
he said it's something like that in the works because that can work,
Well,
he's always doing his Batman and Superman and the old nun thing, He's got all his characters down.
People are either going to love him or they're going to hate
him. That's why Ron and I said we should have like a gong show and let him be the host.
There you go.
Because that's entertaining. I mean, like you said, everybody's not going to like it, but there are people. He's got a lot of people that like what he does.
I'm up for anything, but I know I have to pay for this Zoom if it's any more than 3 people. I have to get like a subscription to it.
Really?
Because they'll only give you 40 minutes.
I was gonna say, how could they make money doing this? That's what I mean.
Well, they only give you 40 minutes with two people, and I mean 3 people. If it's 2 people, they'll let you go. Like they're letting us go. Like, well, we'll see. Let's see.
41 minutes now.
Where are we?
Yeah, 41.
I got about 38 minutes or something like that. So hopefully they'll let us go a little bit longer because.
Do they actually just cut you off, or do they tell you they're coming?
No, one time they cut in, and it was trouble when I was doing the interview with Vinny, Vinny Portese.
Yeah.
On a Friday night, when it was at night. So I guess there was a lot of traffic, but I'll tell you what, I love this Zoom. If anybody's watching from Zoom, believe me, I love this thing. It's
cool as hell. Yeah.
It's the most stable platform, and people can do their thing, and business people can have like 20 people on here if you want. And if you want the professional version and you can pay for it, it's worth it. Well,
that's what I mean. If you can do that and keep your people at home where you don't have to have an office, think of it cutting down that overhead.
Oh, tremendously. Like
it's going to change everything.
The whole world is going to be different after this.
It's evolving.
I mean, I started back in January because I wanted to build a site for teaching, where I could teach online. And it was a lot of research to get everything together going where the bass would sound good, because bass is a different type of an instrument. Like guitar will sound great right over the thing, but it took some getting together.
Well, it depends on how good your computer is too. If you have a good sound system on your computer, it's going to sound better too.
Yeah, well, I got the audio hooked up, and all of that. And then I found out that lighting is a big deal and all of that kind of stuff. So, like I said before, for me, it's a learning situation, and I'm having fun doing it.
That's
I
good.
get to talk to my friends online,
Right.
and
You're evolving. That's why I was just wondering, like you said, they're going to cut you off. I was wondering if it was like the Lord coming in, like
yeah,
they give you some kind of signal.
I'm looking at the time up there, going, okay, it's 40 minutes now. Are they going to
Yeah,
do anything?
John, get off the
Get,
phone.
get off, get off the fucking internet, you asshole!
It's the Lord, John.
It's the
Your time
Lord.
is up.
Yeah.
Remember that Bill Cosby album
Oh man,
when he did the thing with Noah?
the pudding pop guy turned out to be such a piece of shit. What the
It's
fuck?
America's dad forever. Think
Oh,
about
come
it.
on. What a piece of shit he was.
What he was America's dad. He could do no wrong. What he screwed himself.
Pudding pop.
Yep.
It's pudding
Jello.
pop.
Jello.
Pudding pop. He was sticking those who knows where he was putting his pudding pop after he was drugging
Well,
these
he's
people.
doing a lot more than that.
Man, and with this whole thing, man, with everything coming out, with all these abusers and all this stuff, one thing I do want to say though. How long does it take American people to wake up? If everybody knew about the casting couch since the 50s.
Sure, it's been around forever.
It's not a secret.
No. And these women were doing it,
right. It doesn't
That's
make
the
it
thing,
right.
too. The women knew that's how they had to get ahead.
It doesn't make it right, Kevin, but you know what I mean? But
wait 20 years later?
Yeah, sometimes it's like, oh my God, it's such a big deal. Like, well, it was a big deal back then, but nobody gave a shit.
Yeah. They didn't care because they wanted that job. It's a shame, but that's the way it was. It probably still is, for that matter. It's just more open now.
Anybody in Hollywood asks a woman to go back to his private room in a hotel, and she goes, she's got to know
something's up.
That it ain't to have freaking tea, okay? You know what I mean?
It's to have freaking tea.
You know what I mean? I mean, come on. Oh yeah, I went back to his apartment, and then he pushed himself on me, and
yeah, he jumped
and I said no, and then he raped me. And I'm like, well,
get that out in the front.
Should
have said no. What do I got to go back to your apartment for?
First of all, if a woman says no, it means no.
Right.
That's it. No matter what. And the guy is a piece of shit if he doesn't know what no means.
Well, one thing is to have the balls to even ask.
But I am saying, come on, ladies, if you don't want sex or any kind of thing to happen, don't go to a guy's hotel room. I mean,
yeah.
What do you think?
Don't wait till it's happening to say, I don't know if I want this.
Yeah. Yeah, But yeah, that's a whole nother show. Like you could talk like a whole show on that, But all right, man. What else? Let me see. What else? Do I have any questions for you? No, I don't have any questions.
Well, that's why I thought you were getting near the end of the time anyway. You don't want to cut off in the middle of something.
Yeah. So, what about the future, man? What do you think?
Where are we going? Hopefully, we'll get back to some kind of normal where we can at least play together again.
Yeah, I know, because you do mostly live, like I say, you do mostly live performances. And I haven't played in a while.
Haven't played in 3 months. And look how many gigs we lost. God, I had, I think, 6 or 7 in March, 6 or 7 in April. I was hoping it was going to come around in May. I got a couple new places that we were going to start playing, and they're not even open yet.
Yeah, what about that, man? Talking to like bar owners and all of that kind of stuff.
It's tough. Bars aren't even opening, They don't know if they're going to open. Curtains, the new place in Avenel, has been emailing me saying, we're keeping you open for whenever we get an opening, but I had a date May 23rd to play with them. Actually, was tomorrow, I think. Today, we were supposed to play there. at Curtains in Avenel, that new place that opened up. And they're saying, hopefully we'll give you a date in June. We're keeping things open. We'll see how it goes.
Are a lot of places like that? They're still hopeful or like hanging.
Yeah, Haley's has been having a couple special appearances. You know, people have been remotely playing. You know, for Haley's, I've been in touch with them. They're still trying to do. They're still open as a restaurant.
They're doing
but like
takeout.
South Stevens is closed down completely. He's not. He started trying to serve food, but it wasn't enough to keep him going. I don't know how long he can carry that bar without working.
I know, it's a shame. Some places are going to fold.
And people are looking forward to when we can go back there, but we don't have any date as of yet. I think it'll be great once they say go.
Yeah, and the guy from Haley's, he's now the owner. What was his name? It's a weird name.
Oh, at Haley's Harp, you mean?
Yeah.
Mo.
Yeah. Mo. Here's a guy, for people that don't know, here's a guy, Mo, who went to this place and got a job washing dishes there. He used to hang out in front and he used to ask the guy for, like, you know, if there was any openings, and he just kept going back and going back.
Chris Flynn used to own it, right?
And he finally got a job there. And then years and years and years go by and his dream comes true. He finally buys this bar and things are going real nice. Everything's going his way for not even a year.
Couple of months maybe.
That's
about it, yeah.
And then
I don't remember exactly when he took it over, but it was recently.
And now this coronavirus thing, it's like, I felt so bad for him. I felt freaking bad, man, for him.
Well, they bought the Harpcade too. Think about that. They bought the place behind it too and opened up the Harpcade. That's not even open. At least Haley's Harp he can serve food out of.
Yeah.
And he's doing some live things like this where he's making cocktails and teaching you how to make certain drinks. I don't know if you've seen any of that, where they have like live cocktail sessions. Yeah.
Oh.
So he's trying to reinvent himself too.
Yeah,
you know?
He's trying to keep it interesting. You know, that's
keep him in mind. You know, but that's the thing too. We got to keep these people that kept us alive.
Yeah, like I said, I feel really bad. I mean, you know, he has great entertainment there. He has
always had.
You know, he's had you. I mean, I've played there with you. How many times have I played there with you? I mean, he's got Bob Berger and Jimmy Leahy and you know, all these fantastic musicians that play there, and he gave us so much support, and it's just a shame. That's all.
Don't know where it's going. Let's hope it just ends soon.
Yeah, but I don't want to leave this on a bummer. So what could we say that's happy? Fuck the coronavirus.
Go out on a bike tomorrow. Go for a bike ride tomorrow?
Fuck the coronavirus. Let's go for a motorcycle ride.
Right. It's going to be nice tomorrow. Sunny and bright. 60s. That's motorcycle riding time.
Is it really going to be?
Yeah.
All right, I'll come over tomorrow.
I'll get the boys. We'll all go. We'll go down the shore or something.
All right, that sounds good. I'll give you a call.
All
that
right.
Sounds good. That sounds great. We'll leave it at that. We're going to have a nice ride tomorrow.
There you go.
What
Wind
time
therapy.
around? What time around? What time did you say?
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, afternoon sometime, I would think.
Afternoon.
Maybe around 2.
All right. Okay.
I'll check with the boys, see when they're, you know, because Matt has to get away from the kids too, you know. He's got to do the daddy thing first.
Yeah, I'm an early guy. I like to go out early.
I know, yeah, but he's got twins coming, so his wife is my daughter, and she's on limited movement.
Oh, before we go, let's talk about your crazy kids. All of the kids that you have. How many kids you have?
6.
6, right?
6.
You don't know
5 boys and 1 girl.
You have no idea, no clue what a condom is. Right?
I didn't know what a TV was. See, I have a big screen now.
Yeah. Is every one of your kids musically inclined, or?
Pretty much, yeah. Even the girl plays keyboards and sings.
That's amazing.
I got 2 drummers, a guitar player, a bass player, and a screamer.
Yeah. I remember Devon when he used to sit in, right, and play with us.
Yeah, well, that's where he started playing.
Kevin's son, Devon. and he had great timing. And whenever we played together, it just always flowed so nice. So one time after the thing, I said, Devon, I said, man, you know, it's really good playing with you, man. You really have good timing.
He's got a good feel.
He goes, I grew up with older brothers that were drummers, and anytime I went out of time, they punched me in my arm so freaking hard that I learned how to play in time.
Right. And he doesn't tap his foot. Did you ever notice that too?
I'm like,
he's got a weird time keeping system within his own self, but he doesn't tap his foot like most musicians.
Yeah.
Well, and that's where Keith would always holler at him, why don't you tap your foot? You'll stay in. He says, I got it. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, he used to tell me they used to punch him. They'd get up off the drums and
they still
punch him if he slowed down or sped up or something.
Yep. He learned all their material. He could play everything they played. You know, that started out with the Guitar Hero. You know, he was playing that, and he was real good playing the game, right? And his brothers would say, yeah, you can play that game, but you can't play a real guitar. So Devon started playing the guitar, and then he showed him, I can play it all. I'll play better than you.
I'll tell you what, he is a talented kid.
He's playing bass now with his band.
I know. Tell him get out of the bass. You know, go back to playing guitar.
He loves both. He writes all the stuff on guitar, but he plays bass in a band.
He scares me. He's so talented, but he's one of those underachievers because he could be super, super great if he really, really buckled down.
Yeah. Well, he's still young.
You know, and learned a little bit more about what the hell he's doing.
About what he's actually doing.
Yeah.
Because he's got to videotape everything that he teaches the guys in the band. When he writes something, he makes a video of it to show them what he's doing.
Yeah, well, you know, he's unbelievable. He's got
that's the YouTube generation, though. They all do that. You know.
And Keith too, wonderful drummer, man, great drummer. We had, you know, have fun playing with him. You know.
Yep.
He's a basher. He's a heavy metal guy. You know.
That's it. He learned from E-Rock. E-Rock used to say, "Hit those cans." Eric Ferro.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Do you remember E-Rock?
No.
From White Tiger.
Oh. I remember the band White Tiger. Yeah.
Then he did some tracks on Carl's solo album. He played in Far Cry a couple times, you know. Eric's a great drummer too. Solid 4-piece kit. Old Louisiana boy. But he told Keith when Keith was like 13, you got to hit them cans. Got to make yourself known.
Well, boy, he definitely hits those things. That's for sure.
Well, he's got loud drums too. The drums that's a part of it too, is having the right set of drums for what you're doing.
Yeah. And he likes heavy rock music.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's what he likes to play.
That's what he grew up with. You know,
I'm getting too old for that stuff, Kev.
I know, but there is some cool shit with that, especially musically. I don't care for the vocals that much, but musically they write some really heavy shit.
The riffs and the timings and all of that kind of stuff is definitely.
Well, speaking of Keith, think about it. He played with his older brother, Kyle, since they were 15 and 16. And they're 39 and 38 now. Think of that rhythm section that's played together that long. How tight they are together.
Yeah,
they don't have to think about what the other one's doing.
No.
It just happens.
Magic.
Yep. That's what it is. It's like when we were playing, it's magic. You know.
Oh, some nights was like levitating.
Yeah.
You know, and other nights it's like, oh my God, I can't do anything right.
Everybody has their ups and downs, you know. Yeah,
that's the beauty of it.
Right.
Too, you know.
But you can't beat the music. That's the best part.
You can't explain the feeling to people that aren't musicians, what it feels like when you're totally
in that mode,
totally involved in a song. I mean,
and that's the way it should be.
You know, I call it my happy place, but it's like I guess it's like doing a drug where it just takes you like out of the world.
It's all the good things rolled up in one. Otherwise, you wouldn't do it every day.
Yeah, it's like acid. You can't do it every day.
Yeah, I can.
You know,
I'd love to do it every day.
Yeah.
Just wish you could make a living out of doing it every day. That's the
Acid?
hard part.
Acid?
No, music.
LSD?
Those days.
Oh, okay.
LSD's
I knew you
dangerous.
did. I know. I'm saying, wait a minute. He didn't hear me say LSD.
No, I did, but I just rolled over with it. Those days are over. I can remember that too.
I don't know. I don't know if my days are over. You know, it depends on where you are, where you're at, you know.
Who you're with.
Who you're with, you know. If I'm up on some hill someplace by myself out in the woods and I met a wizard that came by and gave me a hit of LSD, I'll probably take it.
Do wizards hang out in the woods?
I don't know. I'm just making this shit up.
Well, that's what I mean. Maybe we'll have to go drive through the woods and see if we can find a wizard.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be at a Grateful Dead show or something like that. You'd see him.
Pretty much. Yeah, he'd just be wandering.
See a guy with a big beard and a top hat. You walk by and he'd like slip you a little piece of paper and you'd be like, yeah.
Speaking of Grateful Dead, did you see that version of Ripple that everybody did?
No.
It's, who is it? David Crosby. It's a bunch of big stars did a version of Ripple with people from all over the world on Zoom. And there's like 30 different people playing the song.
And
you have to look that up. It's actually pretty nice. Nice version.
It was on Zoom or it was on something like that?
It was on Facebook. I saw it on Facebook, but it's done on Zoom.
Really?
Yeah.
I got to figure out how to jam on this thing, man.
I'm sure there's a way.
Yeah.
As we get further into it, and when you're into your teens and 20s of episodes, maybe we'll start playing on Zoom.
Yeah. I think this is episode 5.
5? We're up to 5.
Yeah, which is pretty good, but I only have one episode completed out yet, like I said. So.
Oh, that's the only one that's aired? Is episode 1? Because I saw ads for the other ones. They haven't aired yet?
No.
Oh,
nope.
Okay.
Nope.
How often do you air a new version?
I was gonna do it in 3, but it's too short to do it in 3. So, you know, if it's an hour or under an hour, you know, I'm gonna do it 30 minutes each, and every Monday and Wednesday will be the conclusion. So episode 1 will be on Monday, and then episode 2, which will be the conclusion, however long.
The same week?
Yeah, man, I listen to Joe Rogan, man. I listened to him for 2.5 hours, and finally I got to shut it off. I'm like, I can't anymore. It's like 2.5 hours I've been listening to these two guys talk.
Well, it's one thing to sit anywhere for an hour, you know.
Yeah.
You got to get up and move.
I mean, they're great, and he's the king. You know, he can just keep talking and talking.
Yeah, he can ramble like Howard Stern. He could ramble all day long.
You know, he's the master at this shit.
He just speaks his mind. That's all you have to do, really.
You know, when I first seen him, when he had some putsy little show where he was like this team
Fear Factor.
idol. Yeah.
Remember Fear Factor? Where they had that game show where people come on and they challenged each other.
Is that what it was? Fear Factor?
Face their fears, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the big show he had, which we used to watch all the time. It was great.
Well, you know, he came on. I liked him. I liked him in that, you know. And then all of a sudden he was like in the UFC, he was being an announcer, right?
Well, because UFC got popular then too. It was all around the same time.
And I'm like, what's this little Putz?
Who is this guy? Yeah.
Who is this little Putz fairy guy, you know?
Well, did you see what he looked like back then too? He was skinny.
Yeah.
He was a skinny little twig.
Yeah,
he's like, beefed up a lot.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell does this guy know
about
martial arts?
He did his homework.
And I tell you what, once I started hearing him announce and everything, and I was like, wait a minute. This guy knows his shit about this.
Yep. He did his homework.
You know, well, not only that, I mean, he was the real deal. I mean, he
was participating in it. Yeah, yeah.
He did Taekwondo like from when he was a little kid, and he tournaments and, you know, national championships and everything in Taekwondo. And then he did kickboxing for a little while. And I don't know, his story is very interesting, but no, and jiu-jitsu, he's a master at the jiu-jitsu stuff. Like, you know, he's a real deal, but, you know, I always liked him.
Yeah.
Always liked him. So
yeah, he's got a great personality.
Yeah, so I watch his podcast just like a million.
I've never seen his podcast, but I watch his show.
Yeah, I try to look for if he has a musician on.
He does interview musicians too?
Oh yeah, he, like I said earlier, he had Rob Zombie on, and I saw one with Steven Tyler from Aerosmith.
Right.
And he had David Lee Roth on.
He's got good guests too. That helps.
Oh my God, David Lee Roth! You would not think that David Lee Roth is David Lee Roth. Like, you know, you think of him as the singer from Van Halen, but he's also an EMT, and he's like this mountain climbing guy.
Yep.
And he went to Japan, and he knows how to speak.
He's lived his life.
He knows how to speak Japanese, and he's a master with a sword, and you know, like all this.
If he could just sing in time.
You know, all this incredible stuff that you find out about these guys.
Yeah, if he could just sing.
He was saying he used to cut a hole in the fence in the East River and put the kayaks into the river and stuff. And,
oh yeah, I've heard a lot of his stories.
Yeah, but he's over the top though.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, and when I did this, and and after about an hour or two, as interesting as he was, I was like, Dave.
Yeah, short blurbs
Dave,
are good.
I love you, man, but I can't take anymore. I got to turn it off.
Yeah.
You know, just like some other friends I know that are on 10 all the time that I can't be around. You know, but we won't mention any names.
No, but you need them to make the world go round too.
I guess so.
That's what makes life interesting.
I'm always in Bob Marley mode. I try to be in Bob Marley mode because otherwise I'd be too overly aggressive and I'd be getting in trouble all the time.
You do know how to get yourself in trouble.
I don't look for trouble because I get enough of it without looking for it.
Yeah, who needs it? Right. There's too much drama in the world.
And who needs it? I got good friends like you and Ronnie and you know, all the guys that we hang out with.
Yep.
The great Tommy Kelly, all the guys from Southern Steel. And,
yep.
You know, it's a whole musical community for anybody that doesn't know. Like New Jersey musicians, for the most part.
We're very tight.
For the most part.
They all know. If you don't know them, you know of them at least.
Yeah. Yep. That's for sure. All right, man. Well, if it's going to be nice out, I'm looking forward to that bike ride.
Tomorrow afternoon.
Yep, tomorrow afternoon.
I'll call you and let you know what time.
All right, that sounds good, man.
All right, stay safe. Be good.
All right, man. Thanks for being on.
No problem. Thanks for the opportunity.
Into the Mind of Music.
Yes, you gotta. All right. Peace out.
Man. I love
Take
you,
care.
man. I love
Bye-bye.
you, man. Thank you. Thank you all for tuning into the Mind of Music. I will have in the description all the links where you can contact Kevin and Company, and his band and his emails will all be in the description of the video. Until next time, peace, love, and music for all.